Hello, hello, hello. There we go. That's wrong speaker selected. Anyway, so Taekwondo Tuesday. What are we gonna do today? We are gonna do some Taekwondo. I actually have been training in Taekwondo for many years. I started 21 years ago, actually. Started doing Taekwondo about 21 years ago. Almost 21 years ago. I started around November, started around in the fall or something, heading towards the new year, and then got really exciting in the new year because then I got my first testing to the next color belt, so I became a yellow belt after the new year, and that was kind of exciting. Anyway, so I've been doing Taekwondo. I started it about 21 years ago. I've been doing it fairly consistently for about, I'm thinking, 2009, 2013. In 2013, I tested for my fourth dan in Taekwondo. So that was 7 years ago, actually. So what was that? I can't do math today. About 14 years consistently, fairly consistently, and then a little bit after that as well, after I got my fourth dan. Then I had to take some time off because I was preparing to move overseas, and it's been kind of like rough going after I moved. So I'm kind of really happy that I get a chance to do some Taekwondo again, even if it's at home with limited space. But the swimming I think was fun. Hey Mike, how's it going? Are you ready? Or do you have classes? Anyways, Taekwondo Tuesday. First official Taekwondo Tuesday. Let's do some warm-ups. I'm going to do about, what's the time on here? I can't see the time, 6 minutes? Let's do about 10-minute warm-up, and then we'll do some Taekwondo stuff. Let's see if you guys can see me. Actually, I should switch this to the stream manager, it makes it easier. Let me just see what I'm doing. That's better. Right about there, you guys can see me, right? Can see my feet, my hands, and Nate is lurking. Okay, so we're gonna start with the head like before. So left and right. Let's do 5, 10, 10. Counting in Korean. Hana, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, and 열. And I haven't done the last one, but I can be here for this full session. Yes, now we're going to do some warm-ups. Now you have to do the warm-ups, Mike. Okay, and then, so we're going to push the head back about 5 times. Go gently. 1, 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, and das. And then chin downwards. Can't really touch your chest with your chin, but anyways, chin downwards. So 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, das. And half semicircle neck rotations. You don't do a full circle because you could slightly impinge your neck if you're not careful. And I think some people have neck issues, so a full circle rotation is not really good for the neck. So we're gonna start half one. So start on one side and just rotate. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, and 다섯. And then the other, actually 10. Make it 10. 여섯, 일곱, yoro, aho, and yo. And now rotating backwards, and do this very gently if you have neck issues. So hana, two, set, net, dasa. And I actually do have some stiffness in my neck back here. So that should have loosened up your neck. Pretty much your neck. You don't really you can't really do much with your head. Just help rotate the neck. Next is shoulders. So we'll do shoulder rotations forward and shoulder rotations back. We'll do 10 forward and do 10 back. Last time I was trying to get a lot in to the 1.5 hours as kind of an introductory to Taekwondo. So we're going to take our time and do these a few more repetitions of each exercise. And I don't know what I did to my knee earlier, but it's bugging me. And let me know if you can't hear me. All right, shoulder rotations forward. So I'm going to do 10, count of 10. We're going to count in Korean. Hana, two, set, net, dasa, yosa, ilgap, yoro, ahop, and yo. And make them nice and big shoulder rotations to kind of fully work out the muscles over here. You got your shoulder muscles here. You know where your shoulder blade is. There's tons of muscles there that can get really stiff. So now we're going to go backwards for a count of 10. Hana, two, set, net, dasa, yosa, ilgap, yoro, ahop, and yo. Arm rotations. I'm going to do some windmills. Let's do big windmills. You can do small ones. We can do small ones. Doesn't really loosen me up, actually. So we'll do big windmills. So we're going to do these. So hana, two, set, net, dasa, yosa, ilgap, yoro, ahop, and yo. And backwards. Hana, two, set and open up, net, dasa, yosa, ilgap, yoro, ahop, and yo. And that should help open up your chest a bit if you feel like, sometimes, especially when you wear backpacks and you're pulling your shoulders forward to keep the backpack on you, you feel this gets a little tight. So these rotations actually really help for that. Next arm one. This is more of a stretch. You can do these, but that's just more of like loosening up your torso. Not really official. I think the one I want to do next is put your arms like this in front of you, like this. I'm just gonna make whatever, just kind of like crossing your arms, but just keep your hands on top of each other. And we're just going to twist with the torso. Try to keep your legs pointing forward. So if you notice my toes are pointing straight forward, and I have my feet about shoulder width apart. So what we're going to do is just do some twists like that. What we're going to do is a count of 4. So it'll be hana, two, set, net, and that's 1. And we're going to do 5 sets. So hana, two, set, net. So try to twist your torso from the waist, and you might hear maybe a little bit of cracking. Depends on the person. Hana, two, set, net, two. Hana, two, set, net. Set. Hana, two, set, net, net. Hana, two, set, net. And that's 5. There's another one we did with the arms, Nate. Do you remember? we used to do the ones that went all the way down. I don't really do those anymore for some reason. I'm thinking. Oh, yeah, there's another one. So arms out like this. And you can keep your palms open if you want. or you can use a fist, whatever. Keep your palms open. So again, the count of 4 is 1 set. Macarena. No, we're not doing the Macarena today. So, hey Tony, how's it going? I need to do this. I'll be ready for the next session. Well, some of them you can do it, you know, when you're sitting. But we're going to loosen up the arms a bit more. So hold your hands out. You can use fist if you want, or you can do palms down. So we're going to do a count of 4 is 1 set. So we're going to go hana, tu, set, net. And so palms up when you go to the side. So that's 1. Hana, tu, set, net, tu. Hana, tu, set, net, set. Hana, tu, set, net, net. Hana, tu, set, net. And that's dasa, 5. Okay? And when you do this, again, you'll feel more of a pull here. It helps open you up and just loosens up some of those muscles there. Tony, you're welcome to join in at any time. And I've been missing Taekwondo for some time now. I miss training in Taekwondo, and it's actually, there's not really many good Taekwondo schools here, or that I would consider to be really good Taekwondo schools. I'm a little spoiled. I had some really good training, and technically I'm supposed to open my own school. That hasn't really, it's been kind of hard to do that without some backing somewhere, but anyways, so now we're going to rotate the waist. We're going to 5 to the left, and so 5 counterclockwise and 5 clockwise. Or you can just mirror me. So we're going to do 5. And remember, we're rotating the waist, so make them nice and big rotations. And the next one we'll do is a hip rotation, which is more down here. And it's more smaller. It's just about loosening the hip joint and the muscles around the hip. But this one's the waist. So we're still working on the torso. So you put your hands on the waist. Then we're going to do 5. Hana, tu, set, net, dasa. Why is my knee bugging me today? Hana, tu, set, net, dasa. Okay, and hip rotations. There we got hip rotations. So, actually, sorry, small hip rotations. So, 5 left, 5 right. Hana, tu, set, net, dasa. You gotta really get the hip muscles going. Hana, tu, set, net, dasa. I'm a little stiff today, and plus my knee is bugging me today. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, I know why my knee can bug me, but I'm not sure what I did to it today. And yes, so we got the waist, the hips, and yeah, now it's time for the knees. Let's go do our knee bends. So, if you play football or soccer, you're probably familiar with like knee bends and knee rotations. So put your feet together, hands on the knees, right? And what we're going to do is the knee bends. We're going to do a 4 count. Hana, tu, set, net, and it's 1 set. We're going to do 5 sets. So hana, tu, set, net. And push back gently on the straight legs. You don't want to pull. You don't want to pull the muscles in the back here, which are your hamstrings. So very gently, because we're just warming up. You don't want to stretch too hard right now. Hana, tu, set, net, tu. Hana, tu, set, net, set. Hana, tu, set, net, net. Hana, tu, set, net, dasa. And knee rotations. Keep your knees together again. We're going to rotate to the left and then rotate to the right. Hana, tu, set, net, dasa. And hana, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. I'm just gonna do a slight stretch because I'm very stiff. Okay, and ankle rotations. Ankle rotations are fun. So on your toes, rotate your ankle 5 outwards, 5 inwards, and I'm losing my breath already. 2, 셋, 넷, 다섯. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. And make sure you're mostly moving your ankle rotations. The other way to loosen up your ankle actually is you can sit on the floor and okay, maybe you guys can see me if I sit down here. Yeah, you can see me. The other way to loosen up your ankles, and this is actually really fun, and also if your feet are tired and sore, you can also smack your feet. You can smack the bottom of your feet. It helps a lot. So this is the other way to loosen up your ankles. You just shake your foot out. So keep your leg relaxed. Grab it. Grab around there. And just shake. Just shake your feet. Keep your foot relaxed. Keep your ankle relaxed. Don't try to do anything. Just shake it. And it should loosen up your muscles there. And same with the other foot. Just shake it for a few. And you can see like my foot is wobbly. I could get a little crazy and get you guys to do some toe stretches too, but you don't really have to. I mean, it's important at some point, once you get into intermediate and advanced Taekwondo, it's important to be able to do what I'm doing with my foot right now. It's important to be able to do that. Bend your toes back, all of them. So you might want to practice some pulling your toes back, so you can try to like grab with your toes and then pull them back. But you also want to like pull them back and keep your ankle like this forward, but pull the toes back. So that's another little exercise that you can do. It's a little more for intermediate and advanced. And same with the fingers actually. I forgot about the fingers. Forgot about your hands and fingers. You can shake out your wrists. You can do wrist rotations. Almost forgot about these. And actually, if you do weapons training, these are very important. I forgot about them. But you can shake it all out and keep your fingers loose. Shake it out. You might have seen these in other martial arts for your wrists. This is pretty cool to do. And pretty easy to do if you're sitting at a desk or you can't get up and do some exercise quite yet. That's pretty easy to do. So we're warmed up. So what's my time right now? 21 minutes. Okay. Give me 1 second. I gotta get some water. Okay. Now, let's see. So I want to go into different stances. I'm going to teach, normal curriculum, and this is how I would love to teach Taekwondo if I had my own dojang, my own Taekwondo training center. I would definitely start teaching them some basic footwork and stance drills at the same time, as well as teaching them blocks and punches and kicks, and gradually move up. Because of the limited space I have, I can't do a lot of footwork drills and stances. I can show you some stances. The most basic stance is this. This is kind of like your neutral stance, your feet shoulder width apart, right? Last time I was saying very formal Taekwondo training, what we have is an attention stance. It's called Chuyet. Chuyet means attention in Korean. So basically, it's usually used to get the student's attention. And so when the instructor says Chuyet, what you do is you move your left foot to your right foot together, and you put your hands up the side like this. Palms open, palms flat at the side. And that's your basic sorry, my shoulders are going forward again. That's your basic Chiyet stance. That's attention stance. The second stance you'll learn, and that's used in formal Taekwondo, is after you get the student's attention, you want to make sure they're ready for the next exercise. So we say 준비, which means ready. So to do 준비, you move your left foot again, but we go back outwards into that sort of neutral stance, shoulder width apart, and the hands come up like this. So the hands from the side, they come up, palms up like this. Close them into the fist and drop them down in front of you. But you do this at the same time as you move your foot. So you go 준비. And that is your basic ready stance in Taekwondo. It lets the instructor know you are ready for the next exercise and that you are actually paying attention. That's for very formal Taekwondo training. I won't use that very much while I'm streaming Taekwondo because first of all, I'm not there in person with the viewers, and I can't tell if they're actually paying attention or not. So there's kind of no point to that. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going to do, we can do in this basic neutral stance. There's another stance that's actually really good for training, and it also trains your legs a lot. It'll strengthen your leg muscles. Goes into the mic. I guess I could have everyone type in one letter to let me know. Okay, so the other, I'm going to move over a little bit here. Yeah, should be over there. I started over here, but I'm going to run out of room. So the other stance that we have in Taekwondo, so once we're in 준비, the other stance we have is called a horse stance. And basically, so from 준비, we're going to move this foot further out and about 2 shoulder widths apart. So we're going to go there. And you guys are going to recognize this as kind of like a squat. So we're going to go about 2 shoulder widths apart. You're going to bend at your knees like that. Keep your knees over the top of your toes, right? And actually I haven't done this in a long time and my quads are burning already. So that is a horse stance. So from 준비, what we usually do is and the horse stance, I'm trying to remember what the horse stance is called in Korean, I forgot. jjumsogi, I think. Does that sound right, Nate? Nate's working. I think it's jjumsogi. I'll have to look it up again. So we go jjumsogi, cross, and put your fists here. And now this is a pretty basic stance drill, especially for punching. So you go into this is jjumsogi. And if you get better at this, you technically should be a little bit lower. So you want to get low. Some people do it like this, and I'm like, that's not jjumsogi. This is jjumsogi. You got to be almost sitting. So then you put your hands here, and then you're ready to do some punches or some block. You don't have to do blocks in this. Doing punches in this is actually really good. So you start with your left one out, and you can do 10 punches. So you go 하나, 둘. So you can go 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. So when you do punches this way, what you're trying to do is think of a pulley, and you are aiming for this part of the other person's body. So imagine a mirror in front of you, and you're aiming for the solar plexus. This is called the solar plexus. You know that part just below your sternum in the xiphoid process? That really soft, smushy part that if somebody hits you there, you kind of want to throw up. You go, oof. So you want to aim for there with every punch. So, and it's a pulley action. You can do the punches slowly too. So if you do these slowly, like that, and turn. And again. And you kind of probably need to time your breathing with the punches, and it really helps. So let's just do 10. Let's try 10 punches in this stance. So 준비, and then we go jujun sogi. We'll just go into jujun sogi. And left fist out first. So that means the right fist is going to be the one you punch with first. So we're going to do 10. We're going to count in Korean up to 10. So generally as an instructor, I count and then I watch the students do the punches, but because I'm doing it with you, I'm going to just count at the end of the punch. So we're going to do 10. So 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Okay? And now, the other thing is when you're doing these punches, you want to get the full length of the punch. So you want to make sure you always end up at the hip after a punch. That gives you the most power. I mean, normally when you're just doing fighting stance, you don't have to do that, right? It's like this. But for the purposes of practice and for drilling, doing punches and horse stance, you'll develop more power and strength in your punches just because of the training. Okay. Whew. I need another quick break on that one again. I'm actually kind of tired, people. I didn't sleep enough, but that's all right. Oh, I need more water. Oh, where am I going with my water? Alright, I am back, and if anybody has any questions, I will take breaks after like every couple of exercises or after every exercise, just to see if people have any questions, if they feel like something doesn't feel quite right or things like that. Hopefully that was okay with everyone. So we did some punches. I love doing punches, by the way. The other stance I think I mentioned in my first stream, the introductory stream, is called a long stance. It's called a long stance, and a long stance, hold on, let me think, which long stance we'll do a long stance, and then we'll talk about the short stance, or, we'll talk about the long stance. It's also called a front stance. So, from our general Junbi position, our neutral position, you step forward with whichever foot. I'm going to do the left foot, okay? So you step forward with the left foot and make it about 1.5 shoulder widths apart. Now, I'm using the shoulder widths because a lot of these stances are totally based on your body. So, about there. 1.5 stance apart. And the feet about this way, the width about shoulder width apart. Not too wide and not too narrow either. If it's narrow, you're not going to have good balance. The purpose of this long stance is it's actually a very grounding stance. It keeps you very, very still. So you should have pretty much, depending on the sources, some people say 70% of your weight is going forward, 30% is on the back, maybe 75, somewhere between 70 to 90% is forward, and the rest of your weight is on the back. So most of your weight should be on the front leg here, and you want your knee over your toes bent, and the back leg, you can see the back leg, heels on the ground. Some people might have some flexibility issues. You're gonna have to work on it and keep your legs straight. So this is called a long stance or a forward stance. And so I said 1.5, so the length is about 1.5. This is about about shoulder width, and you should feel fairly stable in this stance. So if I walked up to you, and I often do this with students in real life when I'm teaching, when I teach the stance to students, I will tell them to go into this stance and I will push them on the shoulders. So if Nate were to come over and push me on the shoulder, he could test how steady my stance is. So it's pretty like, you're not gonna go anywhere. Unless, obviously the person is super heavy and comes charging at you. Yeah, you might want to move out of the way. So that is your long stance, and the purpose of this long stance is you actually use the stance a lot in Taekwondo patterns, Taekwondo forms. They're very much like Tai Chi forms. So, and you will do blocks or even punches with them. So you could step forward. You could step forward and do a long block, right? Or you could step forward and do a punch in a long stance. So these are interesting drills. So footwork drills normally consist of doing these stances over and over, so you need a lot more space. Let me go back a bit. I'll go back over here. From here, I can walk forward in my long stance and keep walking forward in my long stance and just keep going to practice it. So at each point you want to make sure you're doing it, you're trying to make sure you're very precise on your footwork, right? And you want to make sure that your stance is steady and feels very stable. So you want to be steady and very stable. And you also don't want to go up and down too much with it. So you just kind of want to slide forward. So that's the long stance, and you will see it in Taekwondo patterns mixed in with different kinds of blocks, which we are going to get to. The next stance that you will often see as a beginner in Taekwondo is basically a short stance or a walking stance. So from Junbi, you basically step forward just like your normal walking pace, not too far apart. So I think I have mine about like that. Basically, I think my left heel is just slightly in front of the toe on my right foot, and this is obviously about shoulder width apart again. So that's your walking stance, or short stance. So from Junbi, you could just walk forward and do a low block. You can walk forward, do a punch. You can step back and do a low block. Step back and do a punch. So those are two very important stances. As a beginner in Taekwondo, you need to know those stances. So let's get into some blocks. Let's talk about blocks. I think we'll do some low blocks first, which is a very basic block. And actually, one of the first Taekwondo forms or patterns that we teach, that I'm used to teaching, and I will continue to teach it, is called Basic Number 1, and it just consists of long stance, low blocks, and punches, and that's it. And it's a good introductory form because it'll get you used to how you need to move in a three-dimensional space, and you have to be pretty precise because thinking about all the forms, they all pretty much should end up at the same spot as where you started. So when you do your forms. So if I start from here and I do a bunch of things like this, 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 and I come back to center, I should be back where I started. And that's how you know that you have really, really good stance work. Okay, so we did horse stance, punches, I showed you long stance, short stance. Okay, so we won't do blocks and long stance right now because, like I said, I don't have a lot of room. I mean, I could go forward and back, potentially. We'll just stay here for now, and I'll show you a basic block. It's a low block. Like I said, it's in Basic Number 1. So back in our Junbi stance, what we're going to do for a low block is, okay, we're going to block with our left hand, our left fist. And by the way, all these blocks that I'm going to show you can be done with open hand. So basic low block, we're going to block with our left arm. Block with our left arm, actually. So I'm going to go up like this. And you'll notice that when I'm in Junbi, the palms are facing towards me. But when I bring it up, I'm going to twist. I'm going to twist, bring this fist up to my shoulder. And the palm's going to be kind of like not facing towards the shoulder, but it's going to be turned and facing to my left shoulder. And this is going to block. This right arm is just going to go over here a little bit. And that actually is part of the block. It's kind of, you know, that's part of the block because it's blocking, it's just kind of protecting you before you actually execute a block. And then from here, what we're going to do is, I got to break it down, but the movement's supposed to happen simultaneously. So from here, the left fist that's up here will come down along this arm and block down there, right? And we're going to want maybe like 1.5 fists away from your body, like that. And so, I do this automatically. So when you do this block, the right arm is going to go back to your hip. And like I was saying, the hips, putting your fists at the hips is the default location that you should put your fists for a lot of these blocks and even the punches. Unless you're doing like this kind of style of sparring. If you're doing this kind of style of sparring, your fists default for Taekwondo is about here. Boxers like it up here, right? Because it's all about getting hit in the face. But because Taekwondo, an attack can come anywhere, we like one arm. This arm is usually a little higher, right? About shoulder height, so it can go up or down. I can go up or down. And this one, your guarding one, is about here, just about this part, guarding your solar plexus. And not too close either, right? Because if it's too close and there's recoil, you will hit yourself, and that's not fun. So, but otherwise, if you're not in this stance, for basic training, think of your putting your fists to your hips is your default of where your hands are supposed to go, so that prepares you for the next technique. So we will do some low blocks in our very basic stance here. So from Junbi, I'm going to do 10 low blocks. So it's 5 each arm, and we're going to alternate. So I'll do this a little slower, I guess. So we're going to go, bring the left one up first. We're going to block the left one. So we're going to go up and down. And that's Hana. And again, so from here, now we're going to switch, right? So the right arm is going to come up to the shoulder, and the left arm is going to do this, right? And go, two. And this again, set, net. Oops. That's, I'm out of practice, wow. Yes, sir. Ilga, Yoro, Aho, and Yo. So I did that fairly slowly for everyone to see. And I can go back to my Junbi. Actually, I should go Junbi. And so I did that fairly slowly so everyone could see how I alternated back and forth. You can try to practice it just with one arm at a time if you want. Practice that if you need to. So I'm doing that very slowly again, like that. Actually, maybe if I go sideways, you can also see what's happening with my arms, right? So you can kind of see, because Taekwondo is, movement that is done in 3-dimensional space. So you can kind of see what's going on. And then from here, right? So I'm going to do 10 more of these low blocks at a faster pace. So, and I'm going to count not before I do them because it's hard for me. Like I said, I'm not there in real life, so I can't see you respond to my instructions. So I'm just going to count when I actually do the block. So I'm going to go Hana, Tu, Set, Net, Dasa, Yasa, Ilga, Yuro, Aho, and Yo, and Junbi. And now, some tips for beginners. Keep your muscles relaxed. Keep your whole body relaxed when you're doing martial arts until the moment of impact. So when you're punching or kicking, your muscles are relaxed. The striking parts of the attack will tense up at the moment of impact. And that's how you prevent getting hurt. Okay? You don't it's also if you're too tense throughout the whole technique, you sacrifice. It's hard to explain, but you kind of it's not just speed you're sacrificing, it just doesn't have the same kind of impact. There's something that we like to talk about in Taekwondo, is called like a snap feeling. And I don't mean like snapping your joints or anything. It's like it feels sharp. It's a sharpness to the technique. So if you're relaxed, and you'll notice also too with my low blocks that I'm doing here, there's the reason why I start this way and I come up and have my arm twisted is because the twisting motion allows for the sharpness. So you slowly twist, and then at the end you tense up slowly. So from here, nice and relaxed, twist, 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 then tense. And the same with the other side. So nice and relaxed, and then twist and tense. Well, you're twisting throughout the whole thing, but you tense up towards the end. So that is the low block. I'm trying to decide if I should teach you the other high block. Let me think. I'm thinking, because then Taeguk Iljang is Taeguk number 1, the basically basic Taekwondo patterns. I'm trying to think what's in it. There's a low block punch, low block punch. There is a middle block, actually. There is a middle block. Yes. Let me take a quick break. And let's see. Okay, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in chat. And I also do have some Taekwondo videos that I can share with people. There's some that I found on YouTube some years back, and they're still on there. It shows the basic Taekwondo forms that you will need. Actually, it shows all the Taekwondo forms. It has all the Taekwondo forms. There's 8 Taekwondo forms that you need as a color belt to get to black belt. And then there's black belt forms as well. And I guess I should specify that I trained in World Taekwondo. So that's the style of Taekwondo I am teaching. I am not very familiar with International Taekwondo. And I believe International Taekwondo, ITF style, stands for International Taekwondo Federation. WTF is World Taekwondo Federation. I believe the ITF doesn't really exist anymore. They kind of merged with WTF. yeah, I just said thank you. Yes, WTF. Sorry. Yes, WTF, World Taekwondo, and Olympic style. I've also done some Olympic style training, which includes some sparring and a little bit of competition. I'm not a very competitive person though, and honestly, going to a competition and waiting around all day is not very fun for me. Yeah, it's only the World Taekwondo now. That's what I thought. Weird though. I was looking up Dobox and the what the F, right? Death the KO. You want me to do 10 more punches? I owe you 30 now. When do I? No, I did them. I did 20, and I think one of my mods accidentally redeemed the last one. I owe you 10. But you just redeemed, so I owe you 20 now. I clipped them. Check my clips. I'm pretty sure I clipped some of them for you. Okay, I will do some for you. I'm gonna do the special ones. And sorry, before I do that, what's your name? Alam 2. Have you done Taekwondo before? Because you seem to know, anybody that knows the difference between ITF and WTF isn't just a casual martial artist or just a casual fan of martial arts. So You got your first Dan. Congratulations. That's very good. Did you learn the patterns as well? Okay, let me catch up. Deathicale, I did do the other ones, but I do owe you 2 more now. 2 more sets of punches. Let me go look at this. Hold on. I'm gonna pull those up for you. Let me see my highlights. No, it's not under that. What was it? I love TKD. Wait. Hold on. Yeah, these 2. I'm pretty sure these 2 were the last 2 that I did for you. But you weren't around, Deathicale. Let me see. I'll post this in chat for you. Where's the chat? Yeah, you did all the way up to choreo. That's very good. I haven't practiced the patterns in some time. There's one. And there's this one. I'm pretty sure. There's the link. There's that one. That was their last 2. I do owe you 2 more sets though, because my mod accidentally checkmarked the last one. I told her, why is it missing? She said, oops. But, oh dear, what happened? Oh, did I just closed something. Did I close something weird? I don't know what I closed. No, that's fine, that's fine. Anyways, yes, so, let me just go back. Okay, yeah, all the way up to choreo. But yes, generally you have to do choreo to get your first dan. I love choreo, by the way. Even after getting my 4th dan, I still really like choreo as a pattern. It's my favorite pattern, actually. I still need to learn the 5th and 6th one as a black belt, but I don't really have someone to teach me those the higher patterns now. So yes, they didn't like the acronym WTF. I did the 20. I do owe you 10, and I owe you another 10 right now. So I will do those. So hold on. I'm gonna do Deathicale's Redemption. And then Hydrate. Okay, I'm gonna do these the special way, Deathicale. We're gonna do it the way I just taught everyone. So from Junbi, I'm gonna go into horse stance, right? And I'm gonna do 10 punches, right? Okay. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. And another 10. That was the one that my mod cleared already last time, and I was like, why is it missing? So, another 10 for this time. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. 준비. And yeah. Okay, so we're done. We're caught up. But yes, congratulations on the first time. Is that like recently, this month, or this year? And okay, hold on. And then he said, and then hydrate. Okay, let me go get my water. Sorry, you can't see me hydrating. Look, I have a giant cup Sadly, because I'm streaming from Taekwondo from home, I can't do a lot of jumping. Maybe one day I can find a place to rent for like an hour or so, hour and a half. Okay, let me clear those rewards now. Manage reward requests. Okay, workout time and hydrate. Okay, those are done. And I should stream like that because I did the punches for you this time here. Alrighty. Let's see. Yes, wahaha. Yes, it's my favorite form. I think it really forces you to focus on the basics. And this year, but post-COVID, so we did the test in the oh my god! Doing Taekwondo in mask, I'd be like passing out because it's so warm when you wear the mask. But I mean, I understand. It was pretty grueling. Did they make you run 10K and do 1,000 skips though? The school I was at isn't doing that anymore. They're at least asking the students to do 10K, and they can do the 10K up to I think as early as a week before the test, and just send because you can map your runs. You can map your runs on your phone, right, on your mobile device, so you can just send the information to the Taekwondo master just to show that you did the 10K. But when I tested for second dan, I had to do a 10K run, and then right after that, went to the dojang, back to the dojang, cooled off, and then we had to do 1,000 skips or 1,000 jumps. And I was like, oh man, I'm tired. Can I go home now? Yeah, it was pretty grueling. Okay, so next thing I'm going to teach, because it's about the hour mark, so I'll probably have another 20 minutes. I will teach you the middle block. Actually, should I teach middle block or kick? Middle block or kick? I already showed you guys the low block. Okay, I'm going to show you the front snap kick. Okay. So the other stance that we use, and it's not really for anything but training. Oh, excuse me. From Junbi, we go into what we call a kicking stance, and now they've kind of changed it over the years from one school to the next. So the normal kicking stance, the way I originally learned it was like this. It was a kicking. We did like this blocking thing, and the right leg just steps back. So we're stepping back into basically that long stance that I was showing everyone. And this is what they called our kicking stance. I think now, where do we put our hands now for the kicking stance, Nate? Do you remember? I don't even remember anymore. It's so long ago. We used to do it this way. So that's another one you can do for kicks. You can practice your kicks this way. I think what I'm going to do for the purposes of the stream is we're just going to go into our little fighting stance like this. And I think I showed you briefly earlier. So just so everyone knows, if they didn't see the introductory stream last time, so our punches, we're going to do our punches. So curl your fingers. So when you make a fist, curl your fingers like that, and put your thumbs there. Don't put your thumbs there. Put your thumbs there. Don't put your thumbs there. Put your thumbs there. Okay. And for the punches, we hit with the two front knuckles there. Wait, sorry, where's the camera? Right there. You hit with those two knuckles. And you want a nice straight line going down the arm to those two knuckles. And that's how you want to hit with the punch. So we'll make our fists like this. And so I'm going to teach you guys a front snap kick. And I'm just going to go into fighting stance. So to go into fighting stance from Junbi, right leg goes back like this. Okay? And it's almost, you'll see my heels are almost lined up with each other. And my front foot is sort of like slightly pointed off. Not quite forward, but slightly pointed off to the right. And my back foot is more pointed to the right. It's not pointed exactly to the right, but a little bit off. So that's my fighting stance. And then we just pull our arms back like this, make our fist, and pull them up like this. And this fist, about shoulder height, and don't do this, that's too much space. About there is probably good space. So you want that. And this, your guarding fist, about here. That's our fighting stance. So I'm going to show you a front snap kick from here. And to do a front snap kick, if you guys didn't see last time, you bring the knee up. So we're going to kick with the right leg. Bring the right knee up like this and extend, and then back, and then step down. That's how you do a front kick. And there are two ways to so with the toes, with your feet, there are two ways to hit a target with that. Normally in training, because normally in training we're using these things, you want to hit with this part. trying to demonstrate. I lost balance. Okay, so you want to hit with this part of the foot with the kicking pads. But if you're actually kicking somebody in the stomach with a front kick, you want to pull those toes back. And now when I was doing the warm-up exercise and I said you're going to have to get used to putting your toes like this, I don't know if you can see that on the ground here. You're going to put your toes like this. You want to have your toes like that and your foot like that for a front snap kick when you're actually kicking somebody in the stomach. Yeah. At your sternum. Yes, and we are definitely, all of our attacks, we are going to focus at your solar plexus. Actually, it's right below your sternum. So your sternum is your chest cavity. And then below the sternum is there's a bumpy part right below your sternum. You can kind of feel it sometimes. On me, I can only kind of feel it. It's pretty small. There's a bumpy part right below the sternum. That's called the xiphoid process. And right below that, there's that nice little hollow part. And if you just poke that even really gently with your fingers, you'll feel like, that's what you'll feel like. So all our attacks we're gonna aim for that. And trust me, so if you hit that really hard, even just pushing it, you can feel it. So, so we are gonna do some front snap kicks. Yes, I want to. Yes, at your sternum. Thank you. So let's go back into our little fighting stance, and we're gonna practice some front kicks. Right? If you're feeling, you should be able to maintain your balance with this kick. And keep your feet light, keep your supporting foot light, and you might want to come up off the heels a bit when you do the front kick. If you're a beginner, take it easy. You don't have to come up all the way on your heel. But the point of staying loose is that you should be able to turn on your toes at any point in time. So we're gonna do 10 kicks with the right leg, and then we're going to switch and do 10 kicks with the other one, okay? And I will count as I do my kicks. So and when we kick, this right arm will go down as we come up, like that, okay? So, Hana, like, no pain, only vomit. I'm sorry. 2, set, net, dasa, yosa, yoga, yuro, aho, and yo. Right, now we're in our fighting stance. Now we're going to switch, and this switch is kind of like, we're going to switch both feet at the same time, so it's kind of like jumping up very, very slightly off the ground and sliding them. One. Except I jumped too much. I definitely jumped too much there. Let me go back a bit so you can actually see my feet. So, our fighting stance here on this side, and we're going to kick with our left foot. So same idea, right? We lift with our knee, extend, down, right? And then when we lift the knee, pull your arms, extend, and it comes back. So, let's go. We're gonna do 10. I'm counting in Korean. Hana. 2. Set. Net. Dasa. Yasa. Ilga. Yoda. Ahop. And yo. And back to Junbi. And how is everyone doing? Does anybody else have any questions? Anybody else have any questions? Anybody else have any comments or want to add? I mean, I may have forgotten some things. It's been some years since I actually taught Taekwondo. I've actually been part-time teaching Taekwondo for many years, actually. I think I got to about, when I first started Taekwondo, I was training, when I got to about green belt, I kind of got dragged into helping students learn their basic stances and basic kicks and punches and patterns. And that was about green belt. That was about maybe a year of Taekwondo training. I started to get dragged into helping teach, not full classes, but helping with individual students, which was really fun, actually. And I do actually miss. I have taught some classes before too. I've taught kids and adults. So, any questions? No pain, only vomit. You're talking about this thing over the solar plexus, right? Yeah. It's also, if you think about it too, that is where you're getting your energy from, as well as if you study Qigong or Tai Chi or any of those other kinds of related energy systems. There's a solar plexus. There's also a tendon, or actually dantian. Let me get back up. Ugh. Okay, dantian. So this is a solar plexus. The other one is a dantian, which is kind of down there in the pit of your stomach. And that's also an energy point in the body. According to different theories, but you actually feel power coming from there. It's hard to explain. You don't want to hurt your opponent, only make them vomit. Well, I don't put my enemies in an arm lock and then let them break their own arms. No, I don't do that, and I don't throw them across the room necessarily. Nate's. I know Nate is lurking. Plus, he's in the room. He did Aikido, by the way. My partner Nate did Aikido for some years. And let's just say, I know Taekwondo, he knows Aikido. It's pretty much a stalemate because no way in hell am I really going to attack him and have him turn me into a pretzel. That's not fun, okay? If you ever do any striking martial arts, Taekwondo is a striking martial art, and somebody knows a defensive martial art, you really don't want to start fights with them at all. Let them start it. Right, Nate? Okay, I need some more water. And what's our time now? Got maybe like 10 minutes left? Oh. I'm actually starting to get warm. I'm not sweating loads, but I'm starting to get warm. Just from doing these. Alright, so you got punches, you got a low block, you got a front snap kick, right? And during the introductory stream, I also did say that when you're doing any kicks, you can also go up on your supporting heel when you're kicking, and it actually gives you more height to a lot of your kicks. We won't start fights, but I do also have my first dan. Yes, Nate does have a first dan in Taekwondo. Nate is technically my first official student because I was teaching him Taekwondo on the side for, I don't know, a year or two before he decided to just join the dojang. And after he joined the dojang, he kind of like jumped the color belt ranks, and then he tested for his first dan when I was testing for my fourth dan. And that was fun. I think the master planned it because he always likes to do He always likes to have couples test at the same time, and he always likes to have family members test at the same time. And this actually kind of gets people interested in Taekwondo. I don't even have a white belt in it. Mike, you're already a white belt. You're automatically white belt. White belt is what you get when you first start. I know some of them have weird orders. Okay, in Taekwondo, the way I was taught, the belt system we use goes white, yellow, orange, green. After green was purple. Okay, purple. Let's try brown. No, wait, purple. Sorry, purple, then blue, brown, red, red stripe, punti. That's 10. 10 color belts. And then you get black belt after that. Yeah, some of them have weird orders. It was actually really cute. One year we went to a tournament and some of the kids ran up to some of the purple belts and went, "Oh my God, you have a purple belt, you have a purple belt." They were so excited. They wanted a purple belt. Their school wasn't giving them purple belts. Ours was. And they were like, "I want a purple belt, I want a purple belt." I thought it was so cute. Anyways, so actually, what I have, so an hour, 10 minutes, I have 20 minutes left. I will show you quickly middle block. I will show you the middle block. So you did one block, you did some stance work, you did punches, and we did the front snap kick. I will show you the middle block because you do use the middle block in Taegak Iljang, Taegak number 1. So middle block, basic middle block, and I'm going to show you the way I was originally taught the middle block. So I'm going to block with my left arm, right? And it's called an outside, I will call it an outside to inside middle block, okay? You can call it an inner block if you want, but that always gets confusing. So in my brain, it gets confusing. So because the direction comes from the outside to inside, I will call it outside to inside middle block. Oh, thanks, Mike. Yes, sirens. So from Junbi, I'm going to bring the left arm up like this, right? About, not too close to the air, just about there. And this is going to come up in front like this. You can do it this way. This is the form I was taught later. I was taught to do this later for the middle block. I don't really like it. And in practice, my middle block, this arm for my middle block sometimes in practice just comes there or there. I think this is better because this actually feels like a block also at the beginning stages. So now that we have this left arm up like this and the right arm like this, we are gonna move. You gotta move them at the same time. So the first one I'm gonna move my right arm. The right arm has to go to the hip, right? And then while it does that, the left arm is gonna come around like that. And so notice that I have it palm out right now. And then when we finish with the block, we're gonna twist. So, right fist at the right hip. So I'm going to demonstrate this part. So again, keep maybe about 1.5 fist here distance from your body. You don't want it too close. Too close, you can actually elbow yourself. So you want it about here like this, about that distance, right? This angle is about 90 degrees, right? And keep your fist like this. And now the blocking surface is here. This little blade surface. You don't want to block it, and also you don't want to block there. You actually want to hit here. That's your moment of impact. So I can't really demonstrate without dragging Nate into it, but if someone is attacking you, you're gonna just hit them that way. So you're gonna come out, boom, and just knock their attack off the line. That is your basic. That's a basic middle block. There are two more middle blocks, and again, with all the blocks, like the low block, I said you could do it as an open hand as well. Right? This one, you can also do it open hand, so you can come up like this, like that. And remember, it's the twisting of the arm that applies that gives you more sharpness. So you want to stay relaxed until the moment of impact. Okay, and the other side, so the other side, we're going to do this way, like this, right? And like that. And again, so you can see where my arms are ending up, right? Up here, up there, right? And you also want to keep this about the shoulder width. So about shoulder width. But that's just in general. You want to keep that shoulder width when you're practicing. You want to be consistent when you're practicing. For the sake of repetition and drilling, you want to be consistent, because if you have a consistent, let's say, base to start from, you can always adjust it for, okay, so maybe the attack is coming towards the middle but a little lower, you can do it this way, or you can do it this way, right? But to be consistent when you're just drilling, you want to have some basis to adjust from. So you could do a middle block like that or like that. I think there's a middle block like this. It's like somewhere between a middle and high, middle and high. So this is a high block. This is a middle block. But in one of the patterns, there's something like this. So, but when you're practicing, for the sake of repetition, it's nice to have a basis to adjust from. So we'll do some middle blocks. We'll do 10 each arm. Okay, so from 준비. Okay, so 하나, 2, actually, just do 10. 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. And 준비. And hello, Jasmine. How's it going? You're just in time for Korean, and it's Taekwondo. Yes, we count in Korean actually. How's it going? 안녕하세요. Formally, we'd say 안녕하십니까, but 안녕하세요. 잘 지내세요. Just in time for some Korean. Just in time for a little bit of Korean. And so we covered, I think that's all of that we're going to do for now. About 14 more minutes left of the stream. I think we should do a little bit of strengthening exercise and a little bit of cooling down from doing Taekwondo. And Jasmine, feel free to jump in and help us. We are just going to do some stretches now, though. I think you missed most of it. But I'm going to be doing these Taekwondo Tuesdays. I'm going to be doing Taekwondo Tuesdays for a while, I think. So it'll be around 4 p.m. 4 p.m. GMT plus 2 every Tuesday. So let's try. I don't really have time to get into strengthening drills. The one thing I will say about Taekwondo is it is very important to keep your strength up, keep your muscle strength up, because you're more prone to injuring yourself if your body doesn't have the strength to do certain things. You're more likely to hurt yourself doing any martial art actually, and especially striking arts like Taekwondo or karate or Kung Fu. Muay Thai, what is it called again? Muay Thai? Nate? Any of these striking martial arts are more likely to hurt yourself if you don't keep your core strength up. Like, you need your core to be fit. You need to be fit in your core. You need your cardio. Running, you got to get into running. For Taekwondo, because we do a lot of leg work, practicing bouncing on your toes is good exercise. If you can't go out for a run, this is good. Skipping is also very good if you're interested in doing Taekwondo, which has a lot of kicking. We do a lot of leg work. And also skipping is actually higher cardio than running actually. You will actually get more cardio in 10 minutes of skipping than you will in 10 minutes of running. So the internet I have here isn't stable using the dorm's Wi-Fi. Waiting for my connection to be... Oh, I'm sorry, Jasmine. Okay, so strength training. So I've discovered over the years, also because I did hurt myself. I do have weights for strength training. I like to strengthen my arms. I like to try and strengthen my legs. I did show you the horse stance position, which is isometric. It will, over a period of time, will strengthen up your quads here. And this is really sad. This is burning for me right now. I remember a time when it didn't burn. And so you can do squats to strengthen up your quads as well. Actually, should we do 10 minutes? Should we do like a couple of squats? Let's do some squats, everyone. So go into your little horse stance. Go into your horse stance. Let's do some squats. Let's do 10 squats. Come on. Everyone do 10 squats with me. We'll just go leave our hands here or here. Actually, just keep your hands here. We'll do 10 squats. Hana. 2. Set. Net. Dasa. And get really low until you're almost sitting. Ilgop. Yoro. Ahop. And Yol. Cool. Oh, my legs are burning. The floor at your place looks so nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you. We're renting this place, actually. That's the floor that came with the place when we moved in. Okay, so let's do some stretching. So we did neck warm-ups earlier. Don't really need to do stretching. You can do some light neck stretching. You can just push your chin back like this and just hold for maybe a count of 5. Hana, 2, set, net, dasa. And you can stretch the back of your neck. It's okay, you can take credit for it. Oh. It is kind of nice. It's a little slippery though. Sometimes I like to wear slippers so I don't get dust all over my feet, and sometimes my slippers slide on the floor. It's really kind of funny. So you can do a light neck stretch here for this. So just pull your head forward gently pull your head forward. You're not trying to rip your head off. And just hold for 5 seconds. 2, set, net, dasa. Right. And now we did some arm stuff. So let's stretch out. Let's just stretch out some of our arms anyways. You can do this. You can do this stretch this way. You can do it palm down or palm up. Do palm up. No, palm down. Palm down. You just stretch here. And hold for 5 seconds. That's like more exercise, having a slippery floor. Yeah, it is actually. I tried to get up out of my chair one day, and I had my slippers on, and I tried to get up, and my slippers kind of like just slid. My feet just slid in the slippers while I was trying to get up. I almost fell over trying to get up. It was funny. And so another arm like this. So you want to keep your body, what you're doing here is you're stretching this muscle here in your arm from your shoulder. So you want to bring your arm across and pull on this to stretch that. And try to keep your arm as straight as possible. And it's kind of hard. It's hard to stretch the scapula right now. Other one, put your arm up. You can't see all of it, but put your arm up, bend your arm, right, behind your back, and try to get this arm like this, behind your back and your head. So you want to try and do this. And we're going to pull. You're going to pull gently. So grab the elbow and pull gently. So your arm is going towards your ear. So I am pulling my elbow towards my right. And there's a stretch over here. And a little bit here, actually. And you can do that for about 5 seconds. And then the other one, do the other one, same thing. Try to get that like this. And just pull. Then you're going to feel a stretch over here. And it's very important to do some stretches after you're warmed up. Sometimes I've been forgetting to do stretches in recent years. It's very bad of me. But that's because generally my flexibility is pretty good. Okay. We can also do this stretch. So, time for you to see that. Let's go back here. Arms straight up like this. Just push up to the sky. Push straight up to the sky. And then you can go to the side like this. And we're going to stretch our sides. So we're stretching the left side for a few seconds. And then switch and stretch the other side for a few seconds. And you should really feel it. If you're like me and been doing too much sitting, you'll feel it all the way through here. And you might also start to feel it in the hip area. Just pulling from there. You should feel that. You can stretch your stomach by bending backwards. So we're going to stretch this part out. The arms up. Back. And if you have a stiff back, sometimes just doing this, rolling forward, helps. Just relax forward. There's so many exercises that I know of that I can't always remember all of them. I have an exercise book to keep me, to remind me of some of the other ones. Actually, the other one for the sides that you can do is, so we're going to go up this way again, right? But like this, instead of going straight to the side, here's what you can do. Twist slightly, and then go over. And it also pulls it pulls slightly differently along here, along that back area. And you can do the same with this one. So twist your torso a bit, and then go over, like that. This kind of stuff, it's always really weird. Some days it takes forever for me to get started doing the exercise, but when I start, I just want to keep going until I'm done. It's really weird with me. And let's see, you need to be able to see me. It's going to be hard to do these. We do practice splits in Taekwondo. I haven't done those in a while, and it might be hard for you to actually see me do splits, but we do practice doing the side splits and the front splits as well. If you know how to do them, continue to practice those and try to get better with your front splits and the side splits. So for now, what I'm going to do is we're going to sit on the floor, and I'm going to do just the butterfly stretch. It's not related, but do you want me to help you set up the events and the chat on stream instead of adding them like that? Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean. I think you're probably talking about Streamlabs, but I often stream from a Linux machine, and Streamlabs doesn't work with Linux. So I will probably I'll probably change this layout as I go. Okay, so let's do it this way. And we're gonna sit on the floor, and we're gonna sit like this. Some people who have done yoga may think of, is it called lotus? I think it's called lotus. This is like the full lotus in yoga, I think. But we call it the butterfly stretch in Taekwondo. So we're just gonna sit down and bend your legs, put the bottoms of your feet together, right? But thanks for the offer, Jasmine. And so we are gonna, so basically, if you're not very flexible, you should feel a stretch in the inner thighs, right there, right? And you should try, now that I'm actually warmed up and stretched, this is actually feeling really good. You can try push down gently on your knees with both hands and try to lean forward while you do that. And you'll feel more stretching here on the inner thighs. And this is a good stretch for Taekwondo when you get into doing high kicks. So we'll do this, and you can see how far down you go, right? I used to actually be really good with the stretch. I basically had Nate like lying on top of me while I did the stretch before. But you can do this, and I'll try to lean forward. If you have a partner to help you with stretching, you can have them pull your hands forward gently, have them gently hold your hands and pull you forward. You can do that. But there's this. Oh, I think I just slid a little bit. That's the one thing about slippery floors. It makes it hard to do proper stretching sometimes. Yeah. And if you find that you're still too tense to do this kind of stretch, you can try to shake out your legs. Just try to shake out your legs. You can also tap, gently tap the muscles with your fists like that. It helps relax them and loosen them up, and then you can do this. Okay? I'm gonna do hamstring stretches. So that stretches, like I said, the inner thigh. Now we're gonna do straight hamstring stretches, and I think for gymnasts tend to do this stretch with their toes forward, which is kind of doesn't fully stretch your hamstrings. So you want to pull your toes back while you do this stretch. So obviously keep your legs straight, and we are going to pull our toes back as much as you can. And you can actually see that my right foot here goes back more than the other one. It's a long story, but something happened. One of my instructors came by and pushed on my right foot when I was doing these stretches, and I think he stretched this one way more. So this is more flexible than this one. It's funny.
Jasmine's got to run.
Oh, she got to run. I can't read. Can you read it for me? It's all right. Okay, see you, Jasmine. Have a wonderful day. Okay, and so obviously we're going to stretch the hamstrings. Try not to bend too much in your back for this. Try to keep your back straight as possible, and try to move forward at the waist and do this stretch. And my flexibility for this has gotten really bad too. I was getting better at it. But as you can see, my left foot does not want to cooperate. Okay, so you hold that for a little bit, and it's all good. Nate waves by. I didn't hear on what you're streaming, but there's also stream. Yeah, I don't use Streamlabs, so, and it's not the streaming software. It's the machine that I stream on. I stream on Linux sometimes. But thanks for the offer, anyways. And I'm out. Stream buffers too much, and chat's not sure why it's that bad today. Sorry. Been sitting way too many hours. It was really nice following along. I'll try catching you next time. Oh, yeah, cool, Jasmine. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, the stream dropped out for me as well, Twitch being weird. Twitch has been bad for a couple of weeks now. Alright, so, and then the next stretch, I think we're pretty much done with the leg stretches. So that was the butterfly stretch and the hamstring stretch. Like I said, when you get more advanced with your flexibility, you can work on your side splits. I just cracked. My hips just cracked. You can work on your side splits. So do this until you can get further down on the floor. Or you can, the other way, if you have a partner, is you can do side splits. Or actually, if you can't do side splits yet, like this, right? This is side splits. You can't do that yet. You can do the half split, half side split like this. Fold one leg in and work on the leg that is extended. Work on the flexibility here on the inside of the inside thigh here, and try to get more flexibility with that. So do that. You can do that. And then the same with the other leg, you do the same thing too. Oh, I'm feeling those stretches, trust me. It's been a while. You can do that with this one too, right? And then And then you can work, and then eventually, hopefully you can do this. And I've lost flexibility, sadly. I used to be a lot better at this. So this would be your side splits here. And you can try to go forward like we did with the butterfly stretches. And as you can see, I'm way better at the butterfly stretches than these. Ooh. Yeah. But the other way too is if you can control your splits, if you can control your feet on the floor very well, you can try to practice your splits doing this way, like that, until you get down to the ground. At some point you get down on the ground and your feet are going to pop up. And similarly, with the front splits, you can go practice doing your front splits this way, right? Until your front leg can go out. So you can do that if you want. And you do both, for front splits, do both legs forward. Like one leg goes forward, so you have to switch to do the other leg because you're not stretching both of them otherwise. So you can do that as well until you get better at it. Oh, I lost so much flexibility. It's been years. Okay. Okay, so that's about it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the first official Taekwondo Tuesday stream. Thanks for popping in, everyone. I might pop back on later. Maybe some more Mass Effect, maybe some more languages later. Really depends on what I have time to do. But I hope you enjoyed the Taekwondo today. And I think we will continue going over some of these basic techniques, okay, and add new techniques as we go. So what I'll do is we will review the stuff we learned, and then I'll add new stuff. So I will be back next Tuesday around 4 p.m. GMT +2. So let's see who's around, and maybe we can go rate somebody, actually. Let's see. Okay, I am using a coffee table, which is why I'm kind of kneeling right now. Who's around right now? The stream manager. The stream cut out on you, Nate? The stream cut out on you temporarily?
At least the chat did.
Oh, the chat. It does that to me. Sometimes it refreshes my chat.
Yeah.
In stream manager. I don't really know anybody else in the fitness and health category people, so we will probably, let's check out the Duolingo category. Oh, you know what, I know what I'm gonna do. I don't really know anybody in this Taekwondo Tuesday. That's me. The thing is, there's a Tai Chi, there's an I-Ping Tai Chi, but she's not streaming right now. So I totally would have just popped in on her stream because the Tai Chi she does is really, really good. She's, I can tell she's been training for years in Tai Chi, and she knows some Qigong as well, and a little bit of Tai Chi sword. And actually, that's another thing. I do know a little bit of weapons training. If people are interested, I could add some of that. Very basic weapons training, actually. I did a little bit of Korean sword work, Gumdo. I was teaching myself how to use sais. I learned a little bit of short stick, Filipino, eskrima, I believe it was called, Filipino style short stick. And that's actually kind of fun and pretty easy. And for Gumdo, you use a bokken. So let's see who's... Is he still on? Let's see who's on. Let's check out the language category, which I often stream in the language category. Somebody's studying German. Okay, we're gonna go rate somebody who's doing some German. Just because he's a pretty cool guy. I've chatted with him for a little bit on somebody else's stream that I don't really get to pop in on very much because he streams late, for me, late at night because of the different time zones I'm in. I'm in the Netherlands, and that's why I don't actually train at the dojang I was training at anymore because I moved. I'm in an ad right now. So yeah, we are gonna go rate this guy doing Duolingo. And he's learning German, so you can say "Hallo, wie geht's?" if you know how to speak German. So, oh hey! Oh no, okay, bye-bye. No, I'm not trying to be famous. I'm not in the sense of what other people think of famous. And if you buy, that's not becoming famous, I'm sorry. You can't become famous by buying all your followers, I'm sorry. It's dumb. So we are gonna rate. Oh, let's hope I get the right guy, because I think I saw there's a couple people with similar names. Where's my raid? Oh, actually, let's go over here. Not you. No. Wrong one. So yes, we are gonna raid someone who's learning German, like I said. Where's my raid thing? Raid channel. And everyone, he's learning German. So in German, to say hello is pretty close to English. Say hello, and to ask how are you, you say wie geht's. That's how you say hello, how are you? You can say that along with, you can say that if you know German. And also, actually, what am I doing? It's a raid. Say NinjaBot raid. Everyone. Say NinjaBot raid. Who's around? Wait, only 2 viewers? Where did everyone go? So, say NinjaBot raid with the hypes. Okay? And we are gonna rate now. Where's my end scene? Bye everyone, thanks for popping in. Okay. Right now. Oh my god, did it not work, Nate? Oh, I should mute the mic. Bye bye.